Hi everyone, thanks for joining in with me again tonight. So tonight we're going to try an experiment. I am going to try a Pinterest look that I found, and it is doing a cut crease with a plastic spoon. I'm going to show you the picture. I posted it earlier on my website, and what I'm hoping to do tonight is find out if this really works or if it is a complete fail. So we're going to start with the basics. Again, I have my face done. I've taken off all my eye makeup and my brows are done. So we're going to give this a whirl tonight and see what happens. I'm going to start off with some of my Limelight shadows. We're going to use some of those tonight, and I don't think I have something that is white enough, so we're going to pull them in another color. And I will tell you what I'm using as we go along. So first I'm going to start with my favorite in the brow bone area, and that's the cream bone. And I'm going to use that just to bring the brow bone forward a little bit more, since the cut crease actually makes the other area recede. Hi Rachel, how are you? Charlotte, hello. I can't wait to see you girls next month in Dallas. And I did prime my eyes with a little bit of our Zero Concealer. So I'm not doing anything different than what I would normally do. And that way I'm hoping to find a true test for this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, actually the only thing I could find that was white enough was something from a Mally palette. And I'm going to use this color here. And it's called Cream. And I'm hoping that's going to pull white enough. And I'm going to apply that on the lid. So you can see I'm already struggling a little bit with the pigmentation trying to get that on there. But we're going to go for it. So I can't wait to get that spoon up and see what happens. All right, so I'm going to start with that. Now I'm going to go into, and she looks like she's using a pretty cool tone brown. So I'm going to go into my palette and I'm going to use this color here, Ashen for Trouble. And with that, I think I'm going to use what I would normally use in my crease. I'm going to use our pointed blender brush. I'm going to pick up a little bit of product on the brush. I'll flick it like I showed you all last night. And we're going to give this a whirl. So I am going to lay the spoon, it looks like she's got angled down a little bit to follow the crease line. And she's come really far over with her cut crease. So I'm going to just give this a whirl. Now I'm not pressing real hard. Actually, I am pressing a little bit hard into my eyeball with the spoon because I'm not sure how this is going to come out. And let's see what happens. Well, did follow the crease line. It didn't really do what I would normally like it to do. So let's see what happens. She's also pulling it over a little bit farther here. So I'm just going to bring it out a little further. We're going to go in and try the other eye. And this is going to be interesting because I've got to hold it with my other hand. So again, I'm going to come in on the crease. Well, now that one you can see I have totally different eye shapes. So when I laid the spoon in the exact same position, you can see it's really not following much. This one did a little bit better, but I think it's because of the shape of my eye. So, hi David. This is my first time with a spoon. So I'm trying some experiments with some things that I've tried on or seen online and always wondered if it worked or why somebody was going to try to do this. So I'm going to try to deepen this one up a little bit. I'm going to go in the same pattern, exactly where I had the spoon before. And I'll pull it out a little further. So let's see what happens. See, that shape wasn't too bad. This one is pretty funky. So if I were to do that again and just come on in, again, it's at the same angle here. And I'm still getting that kind of crazy type of shape. It's still also a little bit, I don't know, some of it keeps disappearing right in this area, so I'm not sure what's happening, but let's keep going with it. Let's see. So I'm gonna do what I would normally do. David, you're not the only guy. I do have several that watch also. Some of them have told me they're actually watching to help their wives with an application. Some of them just find it interesting. So I think that's kind of fun. So I'm gonna blend just like I normally would. This one's definitely come out further than this eye has. And I'm not sure why, because I was holding the spoon in the same area. But it's not giving me so much of that cut crease. What I would normally do, hi Keith, you are watching too. What I would normally do with the cut crease is come right in here a little further and not come up as high with that color. So in this area, it's not doing too bad, but it's really not coming down here. This one, it's coming down a little bit lower. So that one I'm happy with. But I'm gonna keep going like I normally would. So I'm gonna take a lighter color. So the cut crease. So David, the crease is, I'm gonna press in with this. The crease is actually where your eyeball starts receding back into the socket. So it's this line just along here. And many people think that by darkening this, it's going to give a much nicer appearance. So it's going to actually have the eye start to recede where it should, or shadow actually. And then we use a light color up here to pop the brow bone. So it's just generally a nicer appearance for the brow bone to come out further and the eye to recede, almost like you would with a contour. And David, you know a lot about contouring. So when we contour under the cheekbone, it's to push that cheekbone in, and we highlight this area to pop it so it becomes a little more beautiful, is how many people actually talk about it. Hi Christy, how are you? So now I'm going to go in with my lighter color that I would normally use a little farther up as a transition color, and I'm using Taupe for the Best. And I'm just going to try to blend that a little bit there. So that's helping. Again, I'm going to tap my brush. So like I said, a lot of this look would be similar to what I would do, but placement is totally different. But this is an experiment, so I'm hoping any of you might, if you want to see other things, I would actually love to try them. So let me know. Haha, David, I'm glad to come over and sit with you and go over some of those things. And Jane, some of these tips are great, but this using a spoon for the cut crease is not helping a whole lot. So I'm gonna just keep rolling with it and let's see what happens. So I'm just blending a little bit more, and I'm gonna go back to the white color. I'm gonna see if I can get any more pigment to pull. And I'm doing the same thing. Actually, I'm really pressing into this shadow to try to get some pigmentation here. And the look she's done, I believe she pulled this out a little bit here. So I'm gonna do exactly what she did and then just angle it up to lift the eye a little bit. Hi Jessie, how are you? I did Jessie's makeup when she was pregnant for her maternity shoot, and now I'm seeing her beautiful girl. Okay, I think that's about as white as I'm gonna get, and I'm gonna show you actually what I'm doing here too. So with these shadows, I'm really pressing in to try to pick up some more pigment to get it a little whiter. And even as I keep layering and layering, it's really not changing things a whole lot. So I'm going to stop with that. But what I am going to do is, it looks like she's taken a little bit of color, and I'm going to use our Taupe for the Best just under the line, underneath the lid a little bit. And she hasn't really pulled that all the way out. Oh, thanks, Jessie. So again, I'm going to come in just a little bit under the lower lash line. Okay, now I think what I'm going to do, because this is starting to drive me crazy, this eye you can see is really not in the perfect shape. I've tried to create it, and it's not working quite perfectly. So I'm going to try to fuss a little bit with this side to show you how I could make the cut crease look a little bit better. So I'm going to take my brush here, and for me, if I'm looking straight into the mirror, which is the best way to do a cut crease so that you get the perfect shape. So you can see I'm really, if I press it a little bit harder, you can see how I'm following the true shape of where the eyeball would press back into the socket. So that's really the line we want, not so much up higher, although usually I tell you with the hooded eye, I like to come up a little higher. I would not have come up this high in here. I would have come up a little bit higher in here to give me that more of a rounded shape. So I'm going to take a little bit more and show you. So right in here so that I can make that shape a little bit better. I'm still going to follow up. Let me grab my blending brush, and I want to blend that a little bit. So for me, that's actually the better shape for a cut crease. I don't mind that it comes in far. Sometimes that's more appealing. But it's definitely a different shape than this one. And this one, I really blended out the outer edge where that spoon, I guess I should put that back in there so you all can see a little bit better. I'm trying to create the proper shape, and I guess that's not really the point. So here's the spoon again, and back into that crease. So now you can see when I take the spoon away, that's really a pretty bad placement for where it should be. But I'm going to leave it like that, just so we can all compare. And again, I'm going to lift up. And what I'm going to do tonight is I'm actually going to use some MAC pigment, some Reflex Gold, because it looks as though she's got some shimmer. You always have to be careful with these. I'm going to tap just a little bit, it's going to blow all over my bathroom here, into the lid so I can use from the lid. Hi Aniela, hi Christina, how are you tonight? And I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm going to spray my brush with some setting spray. I'm going to just dip into my lid with the glitter a little bit. And I'm going to begin patting. Now I'm going to change where the brush is so that I can come under that cut crease. I don't want to have any of the glitter up into where I've put the dark. So now I think we're starting to look a little bit more like the photo. Hi Jackie, how are you doing? So we're having fun tonight doing an experiment. So I'm going back into the pigment again. And again, you can see I'm just following, now this is the eye that I fudged a little bit and created what the cut crease really should look like. So I'm coming up. She had a little bit just in the corners here. So we're going to recreate that also. I'm going to come in a little bit with it on the tip. There we go. Now I have to do something with all this glitter fallout that's falling down on my face. Jackie, that's actually the MAC, the Antique, the Reflex Gold. And I'm going to see if we can't remove some of that just by brushing off with a dry brush. But you can see the shape of this is still totally wrong. It's driving me crazy. Trying not to fix it. I'm just gonna, I think, blend just a little bit here because it's a little too dark in here. But I'm gonna leave that outer edge the same so we can see. Okay, now it looks as though she's gone in and done a pretty dramatic wing on the photo. Let me pull that up again. Let's take a look together and see what we can do. So let me get my iPad up. Okay, so here's the photo. And it looks like if I look at this side here, it looks like she's pulled her wing up pretty dramatically and made it much thicker in the center than I normally would. So here again is the whole picture. Kind of funky, but I always try to teach people how to do it the right way rather than do it the wrong way. So we're gonna check this out. Tanya, how are you? Oh my goodness, I miss you and Diamond so much. I hope Diamond's doing well this year in school. And I'm gonna come in, and I keep trying to keep my mirror out of the way here. I always like to start down low by the lash line. She had this pretty dramatic, so we're gonna start picking it up and coming up a little bit higher with that liner. Now I can tell you this is something I don't typically do something real thick on the inner corner here because of having a hooded eye. Just doesn't always give the best appearance, but we're gonna go for it just to show you what it looks like. And I want to tell you all and invite you to join actually my business page, Elise Simon's Beauty. I am going to, over the next couple weeks, start changing over and actually doing my Facebook Lives there. So I would love to have you join me there. Jackie, I think I have one left at home. If you want, next week I can get together with you. I know it is back ordered and I have a few ordered on back order. I always like to keep a couple things in stock that I can deliver to people right away. So if you're free one day next week, let me know and we'll get together and I can get that to you, because this eyeliner really is amazing. And I still want to make that a little bit thicker in here. With certain items that tend to be back ordered, I try to keep ahead of the game by ordering some in so that I can help anybody out, even if I need to mail it. You're in Orlando. Well, good for you. I hope it's that you're joining your husband and that you're having a great time. Although the weather here's been not so bad. I'm sure you almost forgot what that humidity was like though. Okay, so now again, I'm gonna do what I normally do. So I'm gonna put where I want a dot right there, where I want my wing to end. And I'm gonna come down and connect it up. I'm gonna close my lid. So it joins at the bottom. And then we're gonna start coming over, and I usually like to do this with my eye open so I can come right over that crease. And now when I close it, again, I'm going to come down and we're going to bring it over. I need to keep closing my eye and fanning. Oh, it's not always so perfect. I need to do some minor little fixes. So I need to, this line is a little wiggly here. I'm going to stretch my eye. And I'm going to tell you all one thing too. A lot of times I see people pulling their eye this way. When you do that, it's actually changing. Can you see the shape changing? So I always tell people it's not a good idea to actually pull the skin taut. You may think it's making things easier, but in reality, it's actually distorting the shape. So just by closing my lid and stretching it a little bit more, I'm able to get that shape. Now I want to bring that wing out just a little further. perfect that line. So let's take a look. Now that's looking pretty good. This is not a look I'm used to seeing myself in. Okay. Hi, Aga. So I'm going to fan that again because I've gone so much thicker. I don't want that to crease up. All right, so now if I look straight on, I think we're doing pretty good there. So we're going to come over to the other eye. And like I said, I do like the shape of the cut crease over here quite a bit better than the shape of this one done totally with the spoon. This one I started with the spoon and fudged it a little bit so you could see what it should look like. And now we're going to come in again and start low down towards my lash line. And I keep forgetting I have to hold this mirror up much higher on this side so that I stay out of your way. Now you can see I'm starting to crinkle up here a little bit. And that is because right now my allergies are not great and my eyes are a little puffy tonight. So I'm going to show you how we fix that. I had that problem last night also. And that's from the liquid liner. Parts of it might work because I want to make this one a little thicker. So I'm going to come along and thicken that up a little bit. Okay. And I see I splashed just a little dot here. I'm going to leave that go for now, let it dry. It's going to be much easier to remove after it's dry. And again, I want my wing to end around there. I always find it so much easier when you start with a dot and keeping my eye open, and I'm going to try to stay in frame here tonight. I noticed last night some of this was not. I'm coming over that fold again. Now I have to close my eyes so you can see when I come over there, it's really missing. So I'm going to fix that up here. And I'm going to open again. Actually, this one needs to come out a little further. There we go. And now I'm going to start pulling back towards the eye with my eye open again. I'm trying to come over that fold, but I really need to close my eye in order to make it look like it's connecting. So let me dry it a second so I can open and show you where we are. Okay, so I still need to fill in a little bit more in here, and like I said, it's always so much easier to do it with your eyes open so you can see where you need to fill in. I'm going to close again. I'm going to perfect that line a little bit and come down. I still need a tiny little bit on that fold. I'm really trying to keep the mirror out of your way tonight. So I think I need to come a little thicker here. There we go. And I think underneath here, I need to stretch my eye again, get a little bit straighter. And in doing that, I'm going to have to pull the wing out a little further because I've made the other one come out much further. And I'm trying to be conscious so you all can see. Okay, so I'm going to fan that again and let it dry. And then we're going to check with the eyes open. Hi, Sazra, how are you? I wish I'd be able to go to the meeting with you tomorrow, but I'm going to try to make it to the next one. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. I'm going to cap my liner for right now, and I'm going to grab a Q-tip. Hang on a second. And it's starting to get pretty warm in my bathroom, so my cheeks are starting to get pretty flushed here. So now what I want to do is on this inner corner, now that things have started to dry, it's going to be easier, first of all, for me to come in. And all I had to do was really flick that little piece away. And I'm going to come up from above. And you can see that's not really dry because that's just blending it together. So I'm going to try to close my lid a little bit more and push it in towards my eyelid. And I'm really going to stretch that eye there so we can get in there. There we go. Now I'd say that's pretty good. Hi, Michelle, how are you? Oh, thanks, Stephanie, for sharing the video. Anytime I do a video, you can all share. So Michelle, you can see what things have happened. They've gone awry a little bit. So I've used the spoon to get my cut crease, and you can see this is pretty wrong here. This eye wasn't quite as bad, but I fixed it up a little bit, and I made my own cut crease there. So that eye, I think, is looking much better. So now we have the pretty dramatic wing, and I'm just looking in the mirror here. I want to see if I have it as thick as she did. I think I need to fill in, and I'm going to look straight on in my mirror in front of me, just a little bit here. And this is all about balancing. So you can see with my eye open, I have a little gap here. So I'm going to fix that there, and again here. It's so easy to do with this pen because of the point. It's real fine, and I think it makes things so much easier. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take... Johnny, how are you? Oh my goodness. Johnny's a makeup artist that I know from back in New York. I'm not going to make it into Fashion Week in February. I'm going to come in September, though, to work, so I'm hoping to see you then. I'm taking a little bit of concealer. I always say Johnny is like the male version of me. He's always smiling. Every time I see a picture of him, he's always got a smile on his face. And that's what everybody says about me. So I hope you take that as a compliment, Johnny, just like I do. So I'm taking a little bit of our number 2 concealer and just cleaning up a little bit. So now the other thing that we're going to do, I'm going to curl my lashes, and we're going to put on those lashes again. And it seems like a lot of you kind of like when I do that in my tutorials, so you can see exactly where to place the lash and how to get it on. Like I said last night, it's something that I've been doing for years, so it's become very easy, but it's just a lot of practice. Oh, Johnny, I would love that. I'm going to try to also make it in for the makeup show in May. So I'm going to take our Perfect Mascara, and again, I'm going to start at the tips. Although I have to admit, I'm not so much of a glitter person, but I'm digging the MAC, the pigment, the reflex on my eyes right now. Not so much the shape of this one, because that one's driving me nuts, but... And again, if there's something that any of you want to see, please let me know, because I would love to try to debunk a myth, try to make something happen, not happen. Let's see how it goes. My problem is I always know how to fix it. So again, on this eye over here, I was able to fix it up so it looked pretty normal. So again, we're going to start at the tips. And now I'm going to come all the way down to the base. Do a little bit on the lowers. I don't like to go overboard on my lowers. So now we're going to do my mentor, James Vincent. We're going to do my favorite tip. So we're going to go uptown. I'm going to come down again. We're going to go downtown, pull down on the lashes, come uptown again a little bit, and then crosstown. So I'm going to pull in towards the eye, or in towards the nose, I should say, and out towards that wing. Now I can tell you all, a lot of times if I'm not wearing eyelashes, I will do about 3 coats of this mascara, which is amazing that I can actually get away without always having to wear my eyelashes. All right, so now we're going to pull downtown. We're going to come uptown again. We're going to go across town. So I'm going to come across in towards the nose this way and pull out. Okay. In case any of you are wondering, tonight I'm wearing a new lipstick color for me. This is Prim and Proper. I like the name. I think it's kind of fun. Hi, Heather. Hi, Willie. How are you? Heather and Willie are both makeup artists here in El Paso that I've worked with on Fashion Week and some other events, so it's been fun. It's great seeing you both on here. So I'm just cleaning off my applicator a little bit here. And since I used these lashes last night, they were already cut to size for my eye. I just want to show you though. So here's the container that they came on. This is what I ended up cutting off last night. So you can see we really have to make sure that they're working for you. Oh my goodness, Willie. Well, I'm glad you happened to stop and join in. Sorry you were at work. That must mean it's not super busy there tonight. Okay. So here we go again. So I'm putting the lash in the applicator, and I like to grab it just so pretty much on the end, and I'm going to put my adhesive on there. Billy, I hear you moving. El Paso's sure going to miss you. So I'm going to put 2 coats of my adhesive. Oh, thanks, Willie. That's pretty sweet. So I'm going to take the lash now. I need to pull my hair out of the way so it doesn't get stuck in the adhesive. And again, I noticed I was a little out of frame last night, so I'm going to try to really get in there. So I'm pushing my own eyelashes down a little bit so that I can drop that lash there. And I'm going to let go. To me, that's the easiest way to do that. Yeah, I can try that, Jackie. I don't think I have any upstairs, so I'm going to do that on another video another night. I'm in my bathroom. They are a little bit tougher, I think, to do on yourself. And I'm going to grab from the inside corner. But I'll definitely do a video on that. That's great. I really love the suggestions. I'm going to push that in towards the lash line a little bit to get that to stick. Oh, Willie, I'd like to get together with you before you move out. So I'm picking up, my adhesive is over here, the other lash. And I'm just taking the adhesive and placing it right on the back, the bone, if you will, of the lash. Oh, thanks. I was going to actually text you this weekend. I wanted to see if you were free to get together on Saturday. Hi, Blanca. How are you? I hear you had a wonderful trip. So I'm going to take that again. And I'm going to come in. You can see I'm just angling just so to push my lashes down and out of the way again. I'm going to drop it and let go. I always find it easier to do it this way first. And then I can grab the end to place that, and the inner corner to place or tuck that. I always say you can tuck it right in, and you want to put it almost directly on your lashes, but not exactly, so that way just a little bit above it. When you take the lashes off at night, they're not going to pull your own lashes out. Okay, so there we go. The other thing, a lot of people forget to tell you. David, it is. It's really fun having the whole gang here from El Paso, a lot of my friends from back east, and just everybody involved joining in with me. I think it's great. People will sometimes ask me how to take the lashes off. So especially if I have gone and I'm doing makeup for somebody's wedding or something, it's really easy. Oh, look, Mickey just joined in also. He's another photographer here in El Paso. So I always tell people what you want to do at the end of the night when you're ready to take your lashes off. I always start with a Q-tip, and I dip that. I like to use an oil-free makeup remover. So I'll get the end of the Q-tip wet. And then the easiest way is to take that wet Q-tip and just rub it along the base of where the eyelashes are. You want to make it nice and wet, not so wet that it's actually dripping and running into your eye, but wet enough that it's going to loosen the adhesive a little bit. And let that sit for about 30 seconds. And then what you could do is just take the edge of the eyelash and basically pull very slowly. And that almost always works without pulling any eyelashes out. So that's the goal, is to not ruin our own lashes. I want to show you a little bit, since it is warm in my bathroom here tonight and I'm starting to get pretty flush in here. What I love to do for that is I actually take our concealer number 1. So you can see it in my palette here, it almost looks a little yellowish or green, which I love. It's not a true green, so I'm going to put that right here on my cheek. Whoops, I'm coming out of your view again, where I'm getting pretty pink, and you can see how that's just knocking that color back. So even though I'm still nice and red underneath there, it's getting rid of some of that discoloration. And since our concealer is so nicely pigmented, it's blending right in. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my foundation again, and just a little bit, just to go on top to blend that in. So that when you look at me straight on, I don't look like I have a strange looking color on my face. And this is going to match me. I'm going to come down and hit my chin a little bit. So you can see that's really taken care of with just a little amount of product, some of the redness in my skin. I am going to take, this is my blush brush. I had a little bit of blush on there this morning, and I'm just going to pop just a little bit extra right here. Okay, so now we're going to sit back, I should say, and take a look. Aliana, how are you? I had such a good time at our shoot the other day. Willie and David, we're going to have to all get together before Willie moves out. So we're going to take a look at the photo again from where I started. So as we can see on my two eyes, I can't say it's a complete fail. It's not the best method that I would use though. So this eye, I did cheat and go back in a little bit more, and I fixed it up a little bit more myself. So you could actually see when I look straight on at the mirror what a cut crease should look like. This one, really, it's not the right shape for what it should be. So the spoon, I would say most people have different shaped eyes. So I'm going to say that the spoon wouldn't be a great recommendation. I find that if you can, I'm going to grab my liner or brush again so I can show you. If you can really stay with your liner brush, you can follow that eyeball all the way up and down. So you can see it would end here. If I close my eye, that's not where the spoon ended. The spoon, actually, I have a nice gap in here where the color is, and some color much further out and further away from where it should be. So it was kind of interesting and fun to try. Hi, Erica. How are you? I just sent you a message. I'm hoping to get together with you too. So again, complete fail, not totally, but not the best for most of us who would have a different shaped eye. I find it's much easier if you have the proper technique. And again, this eye, you can see if I grab that same liner brush and I'm pushing in, you can see that's exactly following where that line is. So the liner's a little bit more dramatic than what I would do. Lashes or not, I would normally wear these lashes anyway. But it was fun, and I'm so glad that you all joined me while I tried to figure out if this was going to work or if it was a fail. So thanks again, and I hope to see you all next week. And please like me on my business page, Elise Simons Beauty. I'll be putting a post on Facebook, and eventually I'll be doing all of my Facebook Lives and things over there. Oh, I'm so glad you're a fan. I'm a fan of yours too. And again, I'm gonna message you so that we can hopefully get together Saturday. Thanks, Blanca. I hope to see you soon too. Bye-bye.